Hey there, it's a Dad Who Games, and today we'll be repairing and customizing Megatron. Nothing says toys from the late 80s like a realistic ballistic replica that happens to change into a robot. No sports cars or 18-wheelers here, no siree, we have a gun. I mean, granted, Decepticons purposely transformed into things to specifically fool humans, and it makes sense overall, but man, Dad sends tingling to recognize that you probably wouldn't find this bad boy in the toy aisle of your neighborhood superstore in modern times, especially without some bright orange cap, aka a total elimination of immersion. But I digress. This toy has seen better days as it suffered from weak joints out of the box. Large, heavy pieces are attached to tiny, wimpy parts. To make matters worse with this fine specimen, since neither my brother nor I really like the robot form, we superglued the broken pieces back into the gun form. Thus, for the last 30 years, Megatron has been trapped in gun mode. You can see all the dry bits of glue covering the arms and the inner metal workings, and I can tell you that I incurred quite a bit of satisfaction in cleaning it all off. Ahem. I wasn't initially going to bother messing with Megatron because honestly, I never liked any of the Decepticons. I was and continue to be an Autobot all the way. However, all that I've been learning repairing these toys inspired me to tackle what I had previously thought impossible. My goal is to make this toy look cool. He looked so lame and not at all like the cartoon, and I want to change this. That being said, I think it's important to acknowledge that I am fully aware that I am going off in my own direction with determining how I make them look, fully bypassing any ability of ever selling these toys by marring their authenticity. But I mean, I'm seriously just doing this for fun. This is just me being crafty and, to be honest, cathartic, as these toys in their original forms came with the baggage of having been the scapegoat in a narcissistic homefront. I'm essentially painting over the negativity and making something original for me to smile at free and clear. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. It's resin time. And I had 3 tasks to deal with. First, reattaching the lower right arm to the upper, which meant dealing with the sliding mechanism that extends the arm out in robot form. Second, there's this little tiny piece of plastic where the upper arm meets the torso. The metal armature was way too heavy to not have the piece snap as the arm rotates and twists at that singular point. Finally, yet another tiny plastic piece connecting a solid metal piece, the barrel of the gun that turns and twists as you maneuver it around the legs and arms. I find it hard to believe that I'd be the only one to have dealt with these frustrations and snappings. Did your Megatron break? Let me know in the comments if you had or have a G1 Megatron that never broke in your possession. I wasn't initially going to paint the hard plastic parts like the barrel and trigger, but in the cartoon he was primarily the same light gray color, and to not paint them would have him just look, well, wrong. Most of my painting for this project was all with spray paint, and the bobbing and weaving back and forth from the toxic vapors didn't make all that great of footage, so please imagine what it would have looked like. Otherwise, I needed to only paint his face and the red of his arms. I didn't want to use any color, but in the cartoon he most certainly had red arm joints. I had to go red with them, and I also made the sides of his torso red too. Alrighty, with everything top coated and dried, it's time to start the reassembly of Megatron. And if you made it this far in my video, it would be rude of me to not thank you for watching me as I put to bed the nightmares of my past to wake up the child that was asleep the whole time. Life can be pretty interesting sometimes with its proverbial curveballs, but sometimes the picture is just really crap and you get hit in the face. So while I might not be able to stream at the moment or, well, enjoying playing video games at all during this time, I will still be making Transformers content as the inherent therapy in the whole process has been proving most beneficial, even though the opposing team needs a better picture. That being said, if you like what you see, please consider subscribing. I've got a whole box of Transformers needing my attention, even some just to show off. And there's an entire backlog of video games I'm anxious to play for you. I've also been posting on Imgur and Tumblr in addition to, and perhaps one day in replacement of, Twitter. I'm a dad who games wherever you look. Okay, let's put Megatron back together again. And here he is, more akin to the cartoon incarnation of him and fully repaired without any parts affected by new layers of paint. While the weak points still exist, one can carefully transform him into his robot form. That being said, I haven't brought up the attachments that further up the highly dangerous appearance. I mean, these attachments mean only one thing to me. This gun was designed to look like a dangerous weapon. Probably something we overlooked as kids, but something that fueled my subconscious dislike of Megatron. Man, I'm sounding old, but what do you think? Would they be able to sell this gun, toy like this, at your local toy store? Let me know in the comments. It's just too freaking big for my setup. No, I totally don't have a recording of me transforming him into a robot. Avoiding the highly breakable joints doesn't make it all that pretty to watch. Instead, bask in the magnificence of Megatron. I hope you've enjoyed my little video. Be sure to like, maybe comment, and of course, subscribe. And until the next video, have a day.